All right, everyone. This is an open forum where you guys, Brilliant Directories users, customers, and also people who are interested in getting started with Brilliant Directories can ask any questions about the software. We're going to show you some examples of how things work. Hopefully we can repair some things on your sites or update things on your sites that you might be having difficulty with. Joining us here today, we have Patrick Brunelle.
Hello, everybody. Looking forward to begin this webinar.
Awesome. Really glad you can join on this one, Patrick. We'll get started. There's just a couple things we want to share with you before we get started. So if you're not a part of our LinkedIn group, we recommend joining, going to brilliantdirectories.com/LinkedIn. This is a place where you can ask more marketing questions about your site and strategy about your membership or directory website, and you'll usually receive answers from fellow directory owners, myself, Patrick, or even David Rocklin, who's our digital strategist here at Brilliant Directories. And just to set a few ground rules for the open forum discussion, the goal here is to answer questions from new potential users and existing customers about how Brilliant Directories works, what it can do, and I really want to, what I'm excited for is to help resolve any how-to issues on the spot. Maybe you don't know how to add a banner ad somewhere or something of that nature. I really want to help get in there on your site and make those updates quickly and easily for you. And the type of questions that you can ask in the forum, there's no wrong questions to ask, but because we want to try to get to as many people as possible, we're going to try to focus on questions that are going to take usually 2 to 3 minutes to respond to, just so that we have enough time to get to everyone's inquiries. If you have questions that might be a little more complex, we're going to recommend, we'll let you know, and we'll recommend emailing support@brilliantdirectories.com. Our team is always happy to help you out and answer those more complex questions for you. In addition to that, Pat has started reserving some of his time for website audit reviews. Pat, you want to let everyone know a little bit more about what these are about?
Yeah, I'd be happy to, Jason. Essentially, it's just a matter of me going over your site, going through and seeing what features you're using, seeing how you're capturing leads currently, what your strategy is for getting members to sign up initially, and coming up with recommendations based on your particular niche, your particular business model, and letting you know what seems to be working well with other people that are trying to start similar things, and sharing that information with you and doing some of that setup right on the call. So this is a really good call to get on if you're about to go live and you just want to make sure your category structure is optimized, all the forms are working as they should, you've set up the membership levels as they should, and so forth. So that's the primary purpose of these audit reviews. So far the feedback has been really, really good. Everybody I've gotten on a call with and completed one of these, they're happy to share their testimonials with other customers to say what kind of impact this had on their particular site. So love doing these, and I certainly hope to get on a call with as many of you as possible.
Yeah, I think the biggest benefit of these, I think a lot of people have really good ideas for their membership or directory websites, but they just don't know how to put all the pieces together. And getting on this call with Pat, he'll help you put those pieces together, give you a direction to go in, so you can actually start managing a community rather than designing and tweaking a website. So he'll kind of help you get out of that design and setup phase and help you get into the I guess marketing phase, or helping you so you can use your website for the idea you had in mind. So really good value there. So let's jump right into it now. This is the questions and answers portion of the presentation. We have nothing to present on. All the questions are going to come from you. Eric, I've gone ahead and unmuted your microphone. Eric, are you there with us?
Oh yeah, I was just asking about the multi-listing add-on that you were promoting, if that was already included in full license users.
The multi-listing, it's actually something new we just launched about last month. I think there were some beta testers before that to make sure it was working fine. So that is something new that you can add to your directory website.
I see. Can you show us that right now, like a live preview of that?
Yeah, let me just take you to where it is on our website here. first. So you'd go to the add-ons. Patrick, do you have a site that's kind of using that that we can kind of demo for everyone?
Off the top of my head, Jason, I do not have a site, but I could
Okay.
definitely make sure we have something to show at the next webinar Wednesday.
That'd be something good. So you can come to the add-ons page. There is a video on how it works right here, which will walk you through, do the exact same thing for you, Eric. And there's also like a quick screenshot here, which kind of gives you a glance at, you get your main account manager. They can easily access additional listings they've created. They can add new listings right here in the sidebar. And then they can also create username and password. So if you wanted to kind of distribute these to the people who will actually manage the listings, you can do that as well.
So how does that differ from the current listings area, like in, you know, the edit member product area, there's an enable listings tab?
Gotcha. So normally how it works is a member comes to your site and they make a business listing. And that's all they can do, just their one listing. With this, a member can log in and they can create additional listings, business listings, so they're totally separate profiles from their main account. And they're all independently searchable through your website. So I'll give you an example. If I'm an owner of a Subway franchise and I have 10 of them, instead of having 10 usernames and logins to
Sure.
list each one on this site, I just have one username and password, and then I can come here into my members area and create the different listings for my different locations.
Great, sounds great.
Okay, thanks for your question. Let's move on here. Great question, Eric.
All right, we have a good question here, Jason. I hear this one quite a bit. It was sent in from David Lewis, but he wants to know how to remove top rated on the listing page results. So we're talking about SEO templates there.
Yeah, let me get a website queued up here. Give me one moment. I'm just going to use the demo site that we have here. Okay. So I just logged into the admin area, and what David is asking is this. Let's go to the front end of the website, and let's do a search here. So on the search results pages, a lot of the information is dynamically generated. So he was asking, how can I change the word top rated here? And there's a lot of pages on your site that have dynamically generated titles, and they're all powered by templates. So a really good way to find out how to edit this, when you see titles on the page specifically, so the first thing you want to do is go to your website by clicking on the Visit Website link. When you do that, on the front end of your website, you get this nifty sidebar here. It's a black color. And what you can do is you'll see a link on most of the pages, Edit SEO Template. And this is the template for your search results pages. So we're just going to go ahead and click on this. It'll shoot us right into the admin area, and we can see a variable is being used for the main title, which is the profession, which let me show you where that's defined. That's under your general settings. So the profession name on this website is local business, and that's what you're seeing here on the front end, local business. And then below on the second line, we see top rated local businesses. So if you wanted to change any of these titles, you can write local business directory. You can get rid of it's nice to use variables, because if you have search results for different categories, it will automatically use the category that's been searched. That's why it's used in a percentage in this format. So you can do the local business directory. Let's get rid of top rated. You can actually use one percentage sign on each site to make it singular. So that would make it local business rather than local businesses. So we're going to change find a local business, because it's singular now, it's not plural. This two means plural, that's why we're going to see businesses up there. And find a local business near you. So I'm going to save the changes here. And who did you say asked this question, Pat?
It was David Lewis.
All right. So David, now I'm going to refresh the page here, and we should see the title change. Just a moment. And take us back to the search results page. So now we see the local businesses directory, plural, find a local business near you. So this is a great way to inject keywords into certain landing pages. And let me take it one step further for you. Not only can you choose the titles, which are H1 and H2s, if you're familiar with SEO architecture and hierarchy on your website, the hierarchy of SEO and how information is rendered on your site, but you can also, in the sidebar here, you can actually choose what the SEO meta details are, meta keywords, and description down here. And again, we use a lot of variable-based titles and descriptions because this template's going to be used for lots of different keywords, locations, so on and so forth. But if you wanted to, you could inject to make sure you really get a good keyword in there. Like if we wanted directory software as a keyword, then this is going to show on every page this template loads. So a good thing to keep in mind here is the additional metadata you can control on the templates as well as static web pages. Furthermore, just to take it one final step, you can add custom page level head tags. So if you're using a script and it says insert this in the head of your website, but you don't need it on your entire website, just a specific page, you could scroll down a little bit more and just put your script code here. Maybe it's something from Google or another third-party application, as well as entering custom CSS styles right here. So you really get a lot of control with not only your page templates, but the static web pages that you create as well. That was a really awesome question. Thank you for asking that.
All right, and then I have another question here as well, which is, how do I know which variables to use? That's an excellent question that was asked by Dan Hall.
All right, so yeah, Pat brings up a good point. Let me do that as well, the show widgets. So I love this tool, show widgets. If you're a developer, it just shows you exactly where to go to edit things. So a lot of the things can be edited from the point and click design settings, but if you really want to get in there and modify things, you can. So let's just try it here, Pat. So what you can do is what we have, oops, it actually went to the link. What we have are in the admin are what we call text labels. And text labels, it will show you, as Pat did the show widgets, what is available as a text label. So I think there was something called what do you need on your site, Pat, right? So if you go to the admin and go to settings and go to text labels, if you're not getting what you need by doing the show widgets, you can just come into the text labels area, type the text you're currently seeing on your site, and then it'll show you the different places you can change it. So we can change this to, what are you looking for? And then once we save our changes, that's the text that will show on the front end of the website without having to go into any of the complicated code, which most users don't even want to do in the first place. So that's a great question. Thank you for that. All right, John. John, I've just gone ahead and unmuted your microphone.
Yes, thank you so much. This is actually my first time on the video chat here, so you all did an awesome job. My question is, this is, well, in the particular industry that I'm in, it's relatively competitive. And I want to know, what could I implement in my directory to make it more competitive and to make me stand out more so that I have more of a competitive edge when I'm competing against the other directories that are out there in our community. And one example I'll give you is, like, for example, maybe we could have all of our members upload a promotional video to include in their profile. Like, I've never seen a database offer that feature. Or maybe we can offer daily deals. Like, what type of ideas do you all have to make our database more competitive?
That's a really good question. I'm just going to say one thing about that, and I think Pat has a great answer for you. My first thing is get your site online, and Don't worry about too many details because you're going to figure out what your marketing strategy is over time, and you're going to have to trial and error some ideas before you figure out exactly what's going to work for your industry. So that's what I want to say about that. And then Pat, this is your forte here on how to make a compelling selling proposition to potential members and website visitors.
All right, sure thing. So what I like to offer people, what I recommend people do is that they focus on quality content. It's a lot of trial and error to see what it is people get excited about. Usually, directory should be, you're an expert on a certain topic. So you have two people you need to cater to. You have the members of your website, and a lot of times people start focusing on that, and they're thinking, let's say it's a directory for lawyers. I'll use that as a generic example. So my focus is, what can I offer my lawyers? What can I offer my lawyers? What can I offer my lawyers? And I build out my website with all of these things, like you can post coupons, and you can have a video on your profile, and you can have this, and you can have that. And when they actually go live with a directory, they find out that the public, the end user, the person that the website was created for, is not really engaging in that type of content you spent all that time creating. So I'm a big fan of trying things out quickly and then doing some campaigns on social media and looking at different metrics. I can go ahead and I won't spend long on this, Jason, but I'm definitely happy to get on a call if anybody wants to ever book a training call with myself to learn about this a little bit further. But I'm going to go ahead and share my screen just to show you guys some of the stuff I do on social media. So all of these posts, when you're doing an advertisement post on Facebook, I like to spend $3 on all the content I spend, and then I'm able to analyze how many people are reached, how many people are liking my posts, how many people are sharing my articles, how many people are commenting on that. Am I really engaging the end user that I'm looking for? Some articles don't do nearly as good as others. Other articles do much better. And then when I'm gathering this data, this is when I'm trying to define what it is my website is going to be producing. Once I know, wow, this is the type of information the end user wants, then I'm able to produce that content. And in the end, when the traffic comes to your site, when users are interacting with your website, and when you can contact businesses and let them know, look, people really like what we're producing, we have an active community, we have this much traffic, we have Google Analytics reports that shows people are coming to our site, then oftentimes the sales follow. It's a little trickier when you're calling a business and you haven't really launched, you don't really have any traffic, you don't really have a community, and you're trying to make a sales pitch when no one's really using the platform you're telling them is going to bring them more business. Again, every industry is completely different. We have some directories that offer marketing services similar to what you're saying. We'll not only give you a listing, we'll create a video for you. There are different angles you can go that can be successful, but similar to what Jason is saying, I'm a big fan of launching as quickly as possible, trying out different content, whether they're deals, whether they're videos, whether they're articles, trying out different article topics, throwing it out there, sprinkling a little bit of marketing money to see what engages the public, and then really defining what your brand's going to be, and then investing more into that.
Okay, really good. Thank you so much.
All right, John.
My pleasure. I'm going to pass it back to Jason here.
Thanks. Yeah, John, where are you calling in from?
Calling in from New York City.
New York. All right, great. Thanks for joining us today.
Yes, thank you.
All right, a great question. What's the best way to get started and how to make a unique selling proposition? Joe, I see you got your hand raised. I'm going to go ahead and unmute your microphone. Joe, are you there with us?
I am, thank you. Can you hear me?
I can. Are you an existing customer or are you looking to get a site started?
I'm an existing customer. We've been on your platform for about a year. It's been a phenomenal experience. Our members love it. We're having a tremendous time with it. And I've got a very basic 101 question for you. I'm not sure if this is a support issue or if I'm just doing it wrong.
Okay.
So maybe you can walk me through it. My website is trustvets.com, and my question is this. On the events page, I can't seem to get the events to reverse order.
All right. So on the search results for events, you would like them to, so I'm on your website now.
So the event that I have tomorrow morning is listed at the bottom of that page when you click on the events tab, and the furthest out event lists at the top. And I'm wondering how to reverse that order so the next available event comes into the top.
All right. Let's take a
That
look
is in the that's in the post feature events itself, correct, Jason? Where you can sort the order.
You're absolutely correct, Pat. So let me, yeah, you're right. Let me guide us there. I'm going to go into the admin area of your site here.
Okay.
All right. So we're in the admin area. Let me just quickly take a look here. So this event's on Valentine's Day, 2/14. All of you out there, do not forget Valentine's Day. Buy your flowers now. And this one is on January 26th. So let's try to reverse this order here. So let's go into the admin area. It is a member feature. We have moved member features now into the content area called Edit Post Settings. It was a more fitting name for this, Edit Post Settings.
Okay.
Events are a type of post. And let's go to your events. This is your events post. So you can edit everything about events, the way the search result looks, how many. Looks like we have an update here. So I'm going to go ahead and run this update on your site for you. That's another good thing about Brilliant Directories is you don't need to reinstall the entire software. You'll just see small updates around your admin area sometimes, and that will prompt you to do updates. So when you're in a post setting, you can control things like what the actual name is, what the URL is. So this is good for search engine optimization. Oops, just went to another page. So if you wanted to really make this for optimized for search engines, you might want to change it to you know, I'm not going to change it for you, but you could do like veteran events, and now you'll have the keyword veteran in all your events posts. But let's go to the search results design, and we'll scroll down, and you can choose what it is on the header, lots of complicated code. So if you're a developer now, if you're familiar with WordPress, WordPress allows you to edit page loops, but you have to go to the PHP files. You have to find the PHP files to edit the page loops for different search results, pages, and other things. So you can do that right from the Brilliant Directories admin area here. If we scroll down a little bit further, well, look at that. There is another update for you. I feel like we're finding all these prizes. So let's install this update, and this is the one you probably want here. So let's go back to the search results design. And if we scroll down, we see order results by, and you can choose to order your events in many ways. The post ID. I think what you want is start date, the soonest first.
Yes.
And let's save the changes. Okay, and we'll go to the front end of the site, and let me just refresh this page. And so now we have the January 26th event, which is the one that's coming up the most soonest, exactly what it said. And now we have Valentine's Day event as the last one. So I think that solved your issue there, Joe.
Absolutely, very cool. And then Patrick, I will touch base with you by email. We have had a spike since Friday of 39,000 new Facebook followers, and I think we should get a Brilliant Directories post out there and share it with our audience. So I'll connect with you by email.
Wow, that's amazing. I'm so happy things are going well with you. I remember getting on our first call some time ago, so this puts a big smile on my face to see you guys doing so well.
Yeah, it's going outstanding. We went from 5,000 fans on Facebook to 44,000, and we're getting great traffic on our website.
That's amazing. Wow, great stuff.
Yeah, great domain name as well, trustvets.com.
Trust Vets, they've earned it. We're basically, you've heard of Angie's List. We've set out to build Vets List.
Beautiful. Well, Joe, I'm really happy for your success. I'm glad we could help you out with your site. And what I just did on the search for events, you can do that for all sorts of features, articles, property listings. So a lot of times you might want to sort them alphabetically. This is really, without doing any coding, you can choose how the searches are sorted for each different type of post. So really useful right there. We just had to do those few updates there, which worked beautifully. So thanks, Joe, for calling in.
Thank you.
All right. Great question from Joe. All right, I got Vincent. Vincent, you there with us?
Yep.
All right, Vincent, you and I actually just spoke a couple hours ago, correct?
Yes, that's me.
All right. Yeah, so what's your question that we can help you with today?
You talked last week about turning a search result page to a static page.
Yes.
Yeah. Is that something that you can do now, or?
Absolutely, yeah. Would you like me to do a sample?
Like I have a whole series. Sure. I have a whole series of search results pages.
Okay.
The website is oempartsdallas.com.
Oh, yes, that was last week. Where are you located, Vincent?
I'm in Dallas.
Dallas. Okay.
Dallas, Fort Worth.
There you go. All right. So I'm in your
There's no state tax here.
right there in Nevada and Florida, and some other places.
Right. Yeah.
All right. So let's go to your site. So what Vincent is asking is, you have all these dynamically generated search results pages. A lot of them have, funky, stuff up here. But what he wants to do is turn it into a static web page so he can better utilize search engine optimization on his pages. Let me just go to one of these profile pages real quick. Oh, why isn't that?
Oops, I made a mistake there.
Let's see. Were you doing some edits? All right, that's okay.
Yeah, that one somehow got mixed into the wrong category.
So along with all those confusing URLs that you see, like # equals location and all that nonsense that you see up here, Brilliant Directories also has what we call pretty URLs of all the links on your site. So a good way to find them is come to a member's profile page, and you can just click on one of the breadcrumbs, and you get a nice United States, Dallas, car dealers. This could say the state name, Texas. Let's even put that in there. So there are pretty URL versions of, and this is a valid page, of all your search results pages. And they're dynamically created, so as more members join in more categories, as they join in more locations, these pages are dynamically created, and you can create a sitemap in your admin area, which if many of you have Google Webmaster Tools, you can generate a sitemap of your site with all the pretty URLs, the ones that are good for search engine optimization, and submit this sitemap to Google Webmaster Tools and any other, or Bing, or whoever needs your sitemap. So let's turn this, right now this is still just operating off a template page. What you want to do is this, use this nifty bar up here and select Create Static Page. That's going to throw us into the admin area. And I'm going to take the URL here, Texas Dallas Car Dealer. That's kind of the unique identifier, so it still knows which members to show on this page.
Well, can you? I wasn't so concerned about this one. I was concerned about the main ones. Like if you go to on the front page, the Acura, or if you go, the group that I want is the yellow one.
Okay.
See how it says Acura right there?
So Acura is a top level.
Parts.
This is your top level category, yeah. Correct? All right. So
well, this is the This is the sub. Actually, it's not a top.
That's okay. That's okay. So what we're going to do is follow the same thing here. We're going to create a static web page. It's the option, the third option right here. And it's going to turn this dynamically generated page and give us some options to further modify it. We still want to copy the URL here.
Jason, just so I can explain to other people viewing, because it's getting a little advanced, the main goal here is our search results have they use an SEO template, so they're all tied to this particular template. And what the goal here is for the search result page for this particular category to be unique from other category pages. This is something, if you're launching your site with us, this is definitely what I would call on the advanced side of things. I would recommend not focusing on making such changes unless you're really familiar with coding. Okay. You really want to get advanced. But I just wanted everyone else to understand what the goal of this is.
So because this is a search results that is member search results, and again, for those of you watching, members don't necessarily need to be people. They can represent companies. In this case, Vincent is using this to represent Goodson Acura of Dallas. So keep in mind that you can use logos rather than profile photos to really give your directory more reach to potential members that want to join. So we did the thing that makes it a static page. We put the URL. We can even add some custom content here. Here's the kicker here. The page type needs to be profile search results. Profiles related to member profiles. Once we know this information, let's hit Save Changes. I put in some sample custom titles here. All right, and if we cross our fingers, we'll notice the title will change from what it was powered by the template. We talked about templates before. It was powered by SEO template 202, but we've now turned it into its own web page. So if we refresh and we cross our fingers, we now see this is a page for Acura. I love SEO for Acura. You do get your search results, and you can read more. So this is some awesome SEO content for Acura, which is great for search engines. And furthermore, what you can do is, and I talked about this earlier, you can put any HTML here. So you can have really awesome SEO content written for Acura in Dallas. And then you can come down here and actually put your custom page titles, because now it's not powered by that template. This is a static page. It's its own standalone page. But you can do all your meta titles, meta keywords, and meta descriptions. And that's it. What this is really good for is if you want to start doing marketing campaigns, targeting different locations or categories, you're going to want to start doing this on this is, again, Pat said it right, this is a little higher level. But again, people worry about having control of their site, and you definitely have really good control with the site. So I'm going to go to your content and your static web pages, and I'm just going to come down here and delete the Acura one that we just created, and everything is back to normal now. All right, thanks for that the question, Vince. It's a good high-level question, and I'm sure a lot of people benefit from that.
Yeah, absolutely. I also have a question here from Randall, and it's not actually a question, it's a comment saying, Randall Spence, he's saying it's better off sometimes getting a training call than going to third-party developers because he finds that sometimes they charge a little bit more than you can do for a training call. But I think that's a great tip. I know oftentimes if some of you guys submit a ticket and you're asking to get something done on your site, you may be sent over to the marketplace, and sometimes the prices could be a little bit on the high end, and most of our customers, when they book a website edits session with somebody on our team, they're oftentimes blown away with what they're able to get done, and the best part is you're viewing the person's screen. So instead of just sending in a project to get done, they're doing the work live in front of your eyes, so you're learning while they're doing the work. If it's going to take a while to get done, they could tell you right away. And of course, anybody that works at Brilliant Directories, we know the system inside out, so oftentimes they can get more things done. Half hour is actually quite a bit of time. If you want to go for a full hour, you can get the website audit review. So if you want to book a full hour block, because you have a longer list of things to do, that's a great option as well. So you can definitely go to the marketplace, but as Randall says here, you're better off sometimes just booking a training call if it's not too advanced what you're trying to accomplish. All right, good stuff. So we have a question here from Peter Young. He's asking, do you think putting Google ads on your website helps with Google SEO?
Google ads on your website does not, to my knowledge, affect SEO in any way, shape, or form. I can say this, though. Having ads on your website makes the website look a little bit more credible and natural compared to what people are used to. So if that's going to help people trust your site a little bit more, you know, I'm used to seeing ads when I go to a blog or some kind of site, rather than a barren site with just, you know, text. That when there's no ads, it looks like a documentation. So the ads can kind of liven up your website, and because visitors will maybe stay on your website a little bit more, Google does track bounce rates and how long people stay on your sites. Bounce rates is if someone comes to your site and then leaves right away. What is the bounce rate? So you want a low bounce rate. Google does give SEO value to sites that people are staying on longer and engaging with longer. So ads will not directly increase your SEO by having them on your site. You will make a little bit of revenue, but they will make your site look a little bit more legitimate and in line with other websites, and that will provide a better user experience. They'll stay on your site longer, and those are some reasons why your SEO might do a little bit better. Deborah, are you there with us?
Yeah, I guess Deb put us in there. So, quick question for you guys, Deb and Josh, South Jersey. What we wanted, we bought 8 licenses. We have a marketing company. We have some clients that wanted to do industry-specific directories, and then they decided that they did not want to. So we're thinking of maybe just creating directories anyway, and then, like you talked with somebody earlier, I guess we could then sell that directory?
Yep, so there's a few things that you can do. You said your name's Josh there?
Yeah, it is.
All right, Josh. So here's a couple things you can do. So Josh has a few full licenses, one-time payment sites with Brilliant Directories. What I recommend doing is you can create a flagship website, really build out one website, and what I recommend doing is we do have a copy site feature. I think there's just like a $35 fee to copy a site. We'll make an exact clone of that site that you've put all that work into, and then you can just go ahead and change the logo and anything else you need to target the second industry. So now you've done all the work once. You can duplicate it to another site using that copy site feature. Then yeah, you can absolutely sell the site on a domain selling website. And when you need to do the transfer of the license to the person who bought your website property, we'll just do the transfer process. And the main reason for that is we just want to make sure that there's no fraud. It is a genuine request to transfer the license. We don't want anyone taking over your site that shouldn't be taking it over. So we do that process, and yeah, and you can sell sites like that definitely to other people.
And our second question is, if we just brought you a database and we said we just want you to set up the site for us, what is?
So I can answer that one, Jason. We do understand that there is quite a bit of work sometimes that goes into member importing. If it's just a matter of helping you import a file of data that is clean, and by clean I mean your category structure in the listing file, so you bought the data, you have the companies. If that category structure matches the category structure on your website and everything else is organized into separate columns, then that's usually a service that we're happy to help out with you as a complimentary to assist you with that. So you could just send in an email to support@brilliantdirectories.com, attach a sample of the file that you'd like assistance with, and we're happy to help look at that. If you want to go a little bit further and you want to for us to help set up your site, the membership levels, importing them into the proper membership levels, activating the proper features and so forth, helping you with the pricing page and the menu. We have something called the Kickstart plan for onboarding packages. It's $350. It includes a welcome call. We do all the basic implementation of your website, and then it includes a final call to show you everything was done and to make sure is working the way you intended it to.
So that 350 is, okay, there you go. Cool. Kickstart onboarding plan.
Yeah,
Okay,
a lot of this is like where we can kind of do some of the hand-holding for you and pretty much set you up with a market-ready website of all the things that are, you know, fundamental to any directory website. And a lot of people who maybe just don't have the time or don't want to deal with it, you know, opt for this option. And, you know, the idea that you had last night can be online in a couple days, and that's what they love about it.
Fantastic. Thanks, guys.
All right, thanks for joining.
My
Good
pleasure.
luck with your sites.
Jason, I have a call here. I have a question here from John. He asked it very early on. His question is, what is the difference between the blog and the member article? And that's an excellent question because most people who purchase a website have both of these features. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen real quick and just spend a couple of minutes talking about this. All right, John. So basically, what you're referring to is in the membership levels, you have different checkboxes. One of them is going to be for your member articles, and another one's going to be for a blog article. The blog article is usually going to be, by default, it's going to be /blog, and the member article is going to be /articles. Most people utilize the blog articles for the primary blog of the website. So you have a branded website, and you want to make sure when you post an article to your website that other members or other companies can't hijack your blog and post stuff that's not in line with your brand. So you're able to completely control all of the content that's posted on /blog. And the way you make sure that nobody else can post on that is only your one specific membership level can post there. Whereas the member articles, this is something that most websites don't start with, but in some cases they do like to use this feature where you give the listings on your websites the opportunity to post articles, And what it does is it groups all of the articles from all of your members into a single URL. So if you had 50 different members post one article, all those articles would be grouped together here, but they wouldn't be mixed into your official blog. There's also some additional functionality with the blog article feature that allows you to control additional SEO in terms of those posts. And also we have the article slider that's also an add-on. I believe we have an example of it here. Let me show you. So basically this is an article slider add-on where you're able to pick specific articles. Personally, I like to use this a little bit differently. I use the blog article feature for my directories, and then I use this slider and I handpick articles that are not just generic articles. They're more about how this website how to use this website, what are the benefits of joining. They're more sales oriented in orientation to general users, teaching them about what the website is instead of just a generic blog article. But this works exclusively with the blog feature, not the member article feature.
That's an amazing utilization of that, Pat. I didn't even think about that, using that to kind of give a tour of the website, through articles rather than just some articles, which are, featured articles. So yeah, just to summarize what Pat said, there's two features, blog articles and member articles. The blog articles is for you, the owner of the website, to maintain a company blog for the website, and the member articles can be any articles or guest. You can consider them guest authors. Earlier, John said, "How do I make my site have a unique selling proposition?" One way is, instead of calling it the articles feature, the member articles feature, go ahead and call it company press release, and go ahead and tell companies out there, hey, you can publish your press releases on our website. So a press release is basically just an article, but you just change the name from article to press release, and press release has a much higher perceived value, and companies would love to publish their press releases because they're trying to get the news out there as much as possible. Great question. Kathy, is your microphone working? Can you hear us out there, Kathy?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
We can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, well, first I want to say everything is awesome. It rocks. I just have a simple page question. And
okay.
I think this is good, and it may help other people as well. In my page, for example, I've got...
Do you mind if I go to your website, Kathy?
Oh, no, not at all. It's eliteweddingguide.com. Okay. This is the one I'm looking at specifically.
Perfect. This will allow us to look at a live example and see exactly what you're referring to. So yeah, please continue with the question.
Okay, under the content, under edit pages, I have a page that's actually the coupons code, really, but I named it Elite Deals. And if you open up that page, I actually have a couple questions. If I don't put something in my H1 or my H2, is that going to affect my Google searching that particular page? See how I don't have anything labeled?
Generally speaking, so what Kathy is asking, and that's a fantastic SEO question. So let's go actually and edit this web page. And by the way, great job making your own web page here. So having an H1 means your first heading. And when Google looks at a web page or any other search engines, they're looking to find out, what is this web page about? That's why H1s and the meta titles are so important, because you're letting Google know, hey, this page is about this kind of stuff. And so there's something called SEO architecture, and it's basically from top to bottom, how is Google reading your website? And generally you want to have one H1 on a page. There are new rules and new ways of coding where you can have multiple H1s, but your H1 is the main title of this page. So if you were going to have a title for this page, I know you don't want to because of the aesthetics, you just want to have this logo, this icon here, correct?
Well, I can get rid of it. I mean, I'm all about the SEO.
So for SEO, so I'm with you 100%. So the name of your site is Elite Wedding Guides. So let me ask you a simple question. What kind of deals are being published here?
Pretty much it's every member deal. Like you see there's one on, we just started doing a mobile app for our members so they can get on that. But most likely it's going to be wedding professional deals.
So deals for weddings.
Deals for weddings, yeah.
Right? So I mean, that would be a good H1 for SEO.
And I can keyword that. I just wanted to ask you because I will tell you, a lot of my members, you know, when Google searches the company and reviews, a lot of my members are popping up on page 1 and page 2, you know, in the Google search, right up there with all my competitor sites, which is awesome. I mean, you guys do a great job, but I want to make sure as me on the back end, like if you look at the right side of my page, it's not filled in very well, you know, and that's content driven. So it sounds like what you're telling me is, hey, fill this baby up.
Yes. So let me just do a little bit.
And I know the descriptions are supposed to be more like a, you know, a few words of a paragraph. I know they changed a lot of that for Google searching.
Yeah, now they actually are allowing a little bit more, at least.
Yeah, that looks great. You can save that one. That's awesome.
So let's see what this looks like with this title. So this is great for SEO. Deals for weddings, discount wedding deals. These are things that people might Google. And then in the H2, it's a subheading, you know, the second one. Find discounts and deals for your upcoming wedding celebration. So.
Yeah, that's great. But that's a great example because that will work for anybody using coupons or.
Right.
Well, that's all I have. I just want to say you guys are really, really awesome, and I know once we get more customized stuff, I know that I'll be having you guys do some add-ons. Like I really like that slider, so that's really neat. And it's cool when you guys tell us new features that are out because then if it's customized, we're like, ooh, do we want that now? But you guys do a really great job.
Thank you, Kathy.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate your call. Thank you.
Jason, we have one more question. I know we're gone over our time, but it's a fairly easy one that Pablo asked that I think is a lot of people ask, and it's basically he would like to add chat support on his Brilliant Directories website using a third-party software. There's lots of different companies out there that they just give you an embed code to place on your website. Could you show everybody where you would need to place such an embed code on someone's website so that the chat would pop up on their websites?
Absolutely. Great question. So you sign up for a chatting tool so you can chat with your website visitors through the website. They tell you to put a little bit of code somewhere on your site. It's 99% of the time. They want you to put it in over here in the head code. So you just want to you want to go to Design Settings and go to your tab here, the page load, for Custom CSS and Head, and just go ahead and pop it in here into the head elements right here. And you could put your code there. And once you save it, and then right away, the chat tool should show right on the live front end of the website. Great question.
Thank you, Jason.
Sure thing. One more here. All right, Lev. Lev, I've gone ahead and unmuted your microphone.
Oh man, I'm so glad you guys picked on me here. All right, so I've spent the last, 8 or 9 months just, working on, design and customer experience and everything for my websites, and I'm proud to say they're ready to go. And at this point, I'm trying to take my mind out of the engineering portion of website development and focus entirely on my websites are live, and I'm doing all the as much affiliate marketing as I can to try to get some more traction. But I'm still having a little bit of trouble. I was hoping. I just decided to introduce my first tier membership. I've got 3 membership tiers for my two website directories, cleaningconnections.com and spotlesscheated.com. And what happened is I recently I was offering my lowest tier membership as just a free membership, but which included $5 leads, and I just decided to remove the cost of the leads completely, so that the base membership is entirely free. to try to help stimulate things, and
Sure.
I'm wondering at this point, for one, is that a recommended thing that you guys would suggest, in getting some traction going, and how would you, like, what recommended features do you think I should leave on at that point?
Gotcha.
That would also allow, that would still encourage value for my 2 other tier membership levels.
All right, so great question. There's so many different ways you can use our lead module. It's a really robust module. The next week I'm really hoping to dive into the advanced lead module, because it's basically what I'm proudest of in terms of the software. But just out of the gates, things that you can do, you can always, if you have time to manage each lead, and this really depends, you can have it automated or not, but there's 2 angles that work well. One is to let the first lead be free, especially if you've imported members. If you've imported members, they're not familiar with your brand, they've never logged onto your platform. So when the first introduction to your brand is pay for something, oftentimes it's difficult to get that conversion. Getting them a free lead, getting them to get a positive experience out of the gates, and having somebody follow up with a phone call, which is by far the best. Hi, this is Patrick from Spotless Cheetah. I just wanted, we're a website that does this, and our job is to get providers like yourself more business, and we actually have your listing on our website, and somebody's actually contacted you or is looking for services that you offer in your area, and what we'd like that to do is to send you the first lead for free so that you can experience our platform. Hopefully you get a sale, and what we're really looking for is we're looking for partners in your area that would like to get all leads in that area moving forward, or would like to get multiple leads in that area. In the lead, where Jason is right there, if you scroll down, Jason, you should have the, would you like to get offers from additional members? See where it says get replies from additional members? Leveraging this as the ultimate sales tool is what I find works best, because if you're a free member, and this may be getting a little advanced, but if you're a free member, and somebody says they want to get replies from additional members, I will send this lead, even though they're contacting a free member, I will send that to my partners. So if you're my partner, not only are you going to get the leads exclusively to you, to people that contact you, but you're also going to get all of the leads of the members that are free on my site when people are asking to get additional members. So it's like multiplying your listing on my website by 50 just by becoming my partner. Would you be interested in something like that? So that's one of many, many, many angles that you can go with.
That's amazing. I also have an idea, or I guess a perspective for that, Lev. You're just starting out, and there are a few ways to enter a market. One of them is with a huge expensive marketing campaign. Another one is offering a free product in order to undercut the existing competition. I believe a lot of people who've entered markets, even Netflix and other companies, they had free options or eventually had paid options, but they were generating their user base. They were getting people into their network. And I think a key when getting started is not worrying so much about the dollars coming in. Focus on how you can get the most amount of people to register into your network. Once they're in your network, you can figure out ways to upsell them, upgrade them, change their plans, turn them into evangelists of your website. So offering a free option is never bad, even if it's the free leads. If anything, you're demonstrating that your website has value, and once you can demonstrate your website has value, the next interaction that you have with them could be an offer, because you've already gained their trust. So my recommendation would be try to prove to your users that your website has value, and when you can do that, then the money will follow.
Okay. Can you click on the cleaners join here so you can get to the my price page?
Absolutely.
All right. So I was really careful about establishing my price point, and now that I made all the leads free and the membership free, I'm wondering, I kind of feel like I'm taking away from the value of the second and third tier membership levels, if I leave too many features still on the get started first free tier. Is there something here that you would recommend me getting rid of, to sort of increase the value of the other ones?
Yes, I'd get rid of half of everything here, in my opinion. The reason I say that, and I would also rename these packages. I'm assuming professional cleaners are going to be joining this site?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Are these people who only do residential or commercial or both?
They have their choice in the when they sign up.
Okay. And usually when someone is a professional cleaner, usually they just work on their own, or they could be an agency advertising, correct?
They can work on their own. I mean, really, I named them these ways for people that want to take their business more seriously. Like, you're a professional now, or now you're going to be considered in the business owner category.
Gotcha. So what I would recommend, this is just, you can do pricing pages many different ways, and again, this is something that requires trial and error and some A/B testing to know what's going to work great. If I was going to do this, the more choices a member has on the membership level, the more confusing that pricing page, the pricing page becomes for someone signing up. What I would recommend, actually, to get the maximum value is you can have a free option, which is a basic listing, and I'd find a way to cut these features down. I don't think a cleaning person cares too much about publishing articles, although it is a feature. Maybe that could be a nice surprise when they create their account. I'd find a way to cut some of these down. I'd call this something like Quick Start Account or Quick Start Profile. So it's a Quick Start Profile. And then instead of making your members choose between a professional and an agency, what I would recommend is call this one like something like small business or personal cleaner or something like that. Something that represents one person who does the cleaning themselves. And then over here, I would do agency, because there's a lot of agencies that have a lot of cleaners that they can send to your home or to your business. So that would be my recommendation for you.
Okay. I don't want to take any more of your time. I've got so many questions, but I just
no, great. The best advice is just get it out there, start trying to bring people here and see if they sign up. And if they're not signing up, then you need to change something. So the technology works. It's just a matter of packaging your website to appeal to the potential member. All right. And a lot of that can be solved with colors, images, and the text you choose on your site. That's all that's going to convince someone to join your site.
Right. Okay. I'll focus on that.
All right, Lev, thanks for the great question. Can't wait to see you guys next week. If you guys haven't registered yet, you can use the same registration link to sign up for next week's webinar. So thank you very much for joining, and we will catch you next week.
Thank you, guys.